Alright guys, welcome to the next video relating to the Fluffycon Warhammer tournament. And this particular video won't actually be a battle report of anything that had to do with the games, but what I'm going to show you is a series of pictures that I took of everybody's armies, because we set all of our armies up on the Sunday morning just so that everybody could walk around and pick their favorite army just as a vote for the army that would win the award for best painted and best presented. So here's my own army set up here so everybody can have a look at it and potentially vote for it. I doubt that anybody would have voted for my army because it wasn't really finished. I painted it as best as I could for a few weeks that I actually owned this tournament before it started, but it just didn't have enough time to get all the highlighting or anything done, and I haven't really done any conversions of it. It's just 2 battalion box sets right out of it, and compared to some of the other armies I'm about to show you, it's not brilliant, although it wasn't the worst painted army in the tournament. There were some guys that hadn't finished their army or hadn't really painted it at all, so I was pretty much right smack in the middle. Without further ado, let's have a look at somebody else's army. Now this is Glenibbles. He's the actual guy that I played first on Sunday morning, so this is why we're on the same table. But this guy actually won the prize for the best painted army, best presented army, and as you can see, he's got lizardmen, he's got actual little like foliage and plants and stuff growing out of all of his bases, which is fantastic. He's just painted everything up to a top-notch standard, and everything's nice and coated with varnish and everything, and it just looks great. And you can see why he got the marks for the best army. So let's move on to the second army we've got here. I don't know this guy's name. He hasn't put a name tag next to his army. I do remember which guy it is, like visually, like what he looks like, but I don't know the name of this person. He's got an all spider riding forest goblin army, and he's using spiders to represent various things. For example, he's got a very large spider, green spider there, which represents a giant, I think. Then he's got a spider chariot and some other spiders representing characters, but it's all looking very cool, and this guy's army is great. I wish I'd had a chance to play him because he seemed like a really cool guy with a really great army. So next list we've got Darren, I believe it is, with a Chaos Mortals army. He's done some conversions. You can see some Tyranid parts which have made this particular model in the foreground, and he's got just generally some well-painted miniatures there. Warriors of Chaos. I didn't end up playing in the tournament, but looks like he's got a pretty cool army there. Next photo is Alex's Chaos army. This guy actually did play in the tournament. I'll show you a battle report of him later on, but he's got the Shaggoth back up there in the hill. This is all sort of Chaos Khorne army with a few squads of Marauders, a few units of Marauders, and 2 Chaos Knights, Chaos Chariot. Got the Shaggoth there and a bunch of Hounds, some Spawn. He's using these models in the foreground as Chaos Spawn, and it's looking very good. I liked his army. Next, we've got a guy that actually plays Orcs and Goblins here. He's got some of his Orcs actually. These are very strange models. I'm not sure where he's got them from. They may have been a very early edition Orc models or just from a different miniature range, but they look fantastic. Very, very good character in this army. Very Orcish. I very much enjoyed watching this army, and it's just a real joy coming to tournaments like this and seeing people using armies that have a lot of models that you don't recognize. So next we've got just apologies to this guy for not really getting a very good picture of his army, because it's unfortunately the shot was blurred. I must have been moving the camera too quickly while I was taking the photo, but obviously he's got a lot of pink squigs in the foreground, plenty of Night Goblins in the background, and the Snotling Pump Wagon. This looks like a very fluffy army indeed. He's got a giant at the back, and just generally lots of goblins, and how can you go wrong with that? He's even got some Snotling bases. Next army, this looks like ogres, so these guys are pretty cool looking. I love the banner in the front, that's very well done. Some lead belchers, in fact 2 units of lead belchers, and just generally a very brawling looking army. Looks like a tyrant in the middle. Next we've got, this is Rob's Ogre Kingdoms army, the other guy that I played on Sunday. And this army's fantastic. Really love these guys. As you can see, they've got a sort of African jungle safari theme. And all of his Noblars, which normally look like goblins, have been painted and modeled to resemble actual like African pygmies with blowpipes and little Sambo-looking dudes. And he's got gorillas instead of yetis. A brilliant idea. Love that. And I mean, obviously, as he pointed out to me today, I mean, yetis are ice cold, like Arctic type animals, and you wouldn't expect to see them in the safari, of course. But you've got the gorillas over there. And instead of he's got the butchers with like cauldrons of stuff, and he's got a man-eater, which is like a poacher type of guy with these little cheetahs next to him. But take a look at this photo here. This is the hippo. I can't believe how awesome this is. This is actually his scrap launcher model, and usually there'd be a Rhinox there, but he's used a hippo. He's used a couple of little Noblar sort of pygmy type guys next to the hippo, and man, that is such a cool model. More about that in the battle report later, but for now, awesome job, Rob. Next picture, Ray O'Connor. Looks like a Dark Elf army. It's completely well painted here, and everything's done. It's good to see armies like this. Not many conversions in this army, but it is nice and painted. It looks like a very by-the-book painted army, and that always makes it nice and clean and very recognizable on the battlefield. Next picture, we've got another Chaos Mortals army with some Chaos Knights, Chariot. Didn't actually play this guy, of course. Plenty of Marauders by the looks, and it's cool how he's actually put them on a themed display board with a little tent in the background. That's very cool. Obviously, he doesn't use that in actual battles, but it's great for his display. And it's really cool how some players go to that extra length of displaying their armies on a board like that. Next picture, High Elves. Very compact army. I'm surprised how small this is. He must have invested quite a lot of points into those characters, and obviously the units themselves are quite expensive as well. But man, that is small but perfectly formed. Next, this is Lizardman army with the slant in the middle. Again, a guy that's actually made a display board for his army just to show them off when he's not gaming with them, and that's very effective. Looking very good there. 2 large units of Saurus and plenty of skinks and some crocs in the background. This appears to be a Nurgle Demons army, and I'm fortunate that I didn't play this guy because it looks like a very tough army. I'm sure it's very fluffy, but tough in the sense that it's quite hard to kill these guys. And it looks like Alistair Dennison, according to the tag. But yeah, good job to him. He's painted everything, and things are looking nice there. Next, another Lizardman army. Not quite as well painted as Glenn's army, but it's still very well painted. Better painted than my army, and looking very cool. Didn't get to play this guy, but it looks like he's got lots of Saurus and he's got a sticker on the background, very far in the distance. And I think that was great. And this next army, oh, I love this army. This is a Demon's army, but look at what he's done here. He's actually put little things in the middle of the units just to represent sort of parts of the units' bases. And he's got the guys on the left representing maybe flesh hounds or centaurs or something. Not really sure what he's using them as. Might be blood crushers. He's got some dogs out in the front, I think they are flesh hounds. And I just don't know what all the other things are because I didn't play him and I didn't ask him what's represented. But take a look at this other photo of his army here. This is probably the model that I like the most in the tournament. This actually represents his Furies. And he's got them all on this portcullis little model here, and that is so cool. I would have never thought to do that. And it just looks fantastic. Hats off to this guy. Next picture, Nick Irvine. This is a really cool guy. I played Nick before into the tournament. He beat me. That was like my second game of Warhammer in 10 years, so there you go. And I voted Nick's army as being my favourite army of the tournament. He's just done such a great job in this. And look, as you can see, his trees in the background, which he's brought along as per Wood Elf tree deployment. He's got his Warhawk Riders, which are converted from Beastmen with wings on them. Looks great. I'm just going to show you another picture, which is detail on his Wood Elf Highborn Lord there. Looks fantastic. Props to Nick. He's chosen a fantastic colour scheme. The orange is very striking, and it's all looking very good. And that's it. So thanks, guys, for watching this. I hope you liked my little review of the best armies in the tournament. I didn't get everybody's army. I couldn't. Some people hadn't set their armies up in time, and I just wasn't able to snap everybody's army. So sorry about that. But that was the best of the bunch that you saw there. And on to some battle reports.